Welcome back to another CartoonSmart Podcast. As usual, I'm joined by my apparently office live-in guest, Cleavon. Yeah, you use that term office quite loosely. This to me looks a lot like a guest room. And with me sleeping in here, it feels a lot like a guest room. You're probably right about that. Well, Cleavon, I thought maybe we should go over some of the basics of functions because, well, we've kind of been working with the ones that have come just built in with the Sprite Kit scene here, the template, and maybe we should create one from scratch. Yeah, you know what? I was actually going through the Swift programming book, and I came across one that it was like one on page 10 that we could just kind of type out for verbatim and you could kind of pick it apart for me. Okay. It's a simple one, I guess, but to me, I look at it, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, that's fine. All right. Let's, you want to take over the keyboard? I do indeed. All right. So, what we're going to do here is let's just type it out right from scratch. It says, let individual scores. See, I'm trying to figure out what game they're playing here. It says 75, 43, 103, 87. I mean, what kind of game is this? That one guy scores 103. All right, so what is that? That's actually an array right there. Okay, but yeah, they didn't really specify that it's a specific type or anything. But Swift knows that this is, I guess, an array of integers. Okay, all right. So now here's the next thing that they got. They got a team score, right? Now, how are they playing Quidditch or something like that? Right? So you got all these individual scores, and then all right. Well, here comes the crazy stuff. And I suppose we got to write this. See, they just kind of threw it all out there. Yeah. Well, you know what? Here, we'll put it inside this did move to view statement. So we'll go for score. A very famous guy said that. For score. Abraham Lincoln. He owns a car dealership in town. Individuals. What on earth? Oh, right. I forgot. I was like, why is that filling it in for me? And it knew because I already had it typed out right up here that it was okay. All right. So this is going to reiterate through the every entry essentially inside of our individual scores array. That's right. So it's going to start at 75. First time around, 75 is going to use that as for the score. And then the next time it's going to do 43, 103, and so on like that, right? Absolutely correct. Okay, all right. So, and then inside of here, we can do something. We can care about what the score is at that particular moment. Correct? All right. So I'm just gonna keep writing what they write over here. So if the score is over 50, then your team score is plus equals. That is a weird looking thing right there. 3, right? Okay, so I guess the first time around, 75, that's gonna be true, right? Because the score is 75, and then that's over 50, so the team score goes up a bit. Okay, got it. Still have no idea what sport this is. Maybe the programmers must have some sort of game that they play at Apple headquarters, at Apple HQ. Okay, all right, here we go. Now, this is the rest of what they wrote. Look, it says team score plus 1. Okay, so even if you didn't score over 50, then you're still getting a point. Again, makes no sense. All right, so, and then at the end of it, we're going to print out the team score. Okay. So what do you think that would be? It's just an example, Cleavon. It doesn't, but there's not even an opposing team. All right, I'm just going to build it. Okay, and I skipped ahead a little bit. It's just 11. That's all we care about. There's nothing in the simulator that's going to show us anything interesting. But, yeah, look at all that action up there with the scores, and then all you get down here is 11, because this one was 3, that added 1, 4, that added 3 again, so it would be 7, That added another 3, that's 10, and then finally this one just added 1, right? So that's 11. All right, that's kind of boring, to be honest. You know what, though? It reminds me of soccer in the sense that, like, if they just added, like, a 3-pointer to soccer, or football, then that would be, everybody would be watching that game, right? Because it would be like, they widen the goal for 1-pointers, but then they leave that little tiny goal that they got for the 3-pointers, So it's like, get it? You're just constantly scoring then because you got this big, almost like a field goal or something behind the soccer net. And that's for the 1-pointers. I think that would kind of ruin the game a little bit, Cleavon. There's a lot of football purists out there that kind of consider that blasphemy. Well, I'm talking, then they cut to a commercial break and stuff like that. There's a lot of things that they could do to improve soccer. All right, should we do another one? I mean, yeah, if you want to teach this again, we could do this right from the documentation that Apple provides. We could take a look at a switch statement. You want to do a switch statement? Yeah, all right. So let's come down. Just get rid of, we'll bring that up over here. All right, here we go. So we're going to type out let vegetable, and this is going to equal, and that's a constant, right? Because it's not, if you say let in front of it, it can't change. It's never going to be the same. I mean, it's never going to be any different than what it is. Like my life, constant. And I am constantly eating peppers because you can live off about $2 of vegetables a day. Banana and some peppers, and you get all the sustenance you need. Switch vegetable, yeah, that does sound like a good idea. That's one of the things I chop over at the chop house. Actually, is the peppers. All right, so switch vegetable, and then now what we do inside of a switch statement is we test for a particular condition. So in this case, it's going to be celery. Got to type it out, right? Celery. And then you do a colon, like the body part, colon. And then if the vegetable in this case was celery, we're going to print out a particular thing. So we'll just write print. And then Apple's got over here, add some raisins. What on earth? Add some raisins and make ants on a log? Dang. I think they got my brother Cletus writing these things over there at HQ. Okay, well, what about this one? Case. What does that doesn't even make sense? Cucumber, cumbre. That's the cumbre. All right, watercress. It's early for me. I can't even think of the jokes. Cucumber, watercress. So in this case, what? It's 2 particular things? It would be the case here. Why am I getting an error too? Probably because I haven't put anything in. All right, watch. Print, and then that would be a good. What on it? That would make a good tea sandwich. No, Cleavon's the one that makes the jokes, not Apple. What is this? That doesn't make any sense. Then here's another one. Case. Let X. Oh, goodness. Where X dot has suffix. Okay, well, now I can read this one. This makes a little bit of sense to me. So the suffix is the thing that comes after. So if the suffix of this contains pepper, then do another colon, and then we could print out, is it a spicy? And then you can throw in here, there's that / maybe / X, right? Question mark. So whatever is inside of the parentheses right here. Wait, where did X even come from? I thought, oh, doggone. Let X where X dot has suffix pepper. Okay. All right. So I'm assuming then. I can't even assume anything here. Default. Well, if I print this out and it's the default, I'm just gonna throw your computer. Please, Cleveland, don't throw my computer. everything. We weren't even talking about soup. Everything tastes good in soup. Man, this is confusing. This is like working at the chop house. Everything they throw at me is confusing. Chop this, cleave on. Chop that, cleave on. All right. So I guess we're just going to run it. I'm assuming it's going to be this one that shows up because it's at least got some tie back to our constant that we're checking, the switch. Okay. Switch my brain out to understand some of these examples in the doggone. Page 13 is what I'm on. I can't even wrap my... There it is. Is it a spicy red pepper? So, okay, well, so it printed out the X, so the case let X, right, where X dot has suffix pepper. And, all right, so you learn something every day here. I mean, in this case, it gave us X, and X ended up being the entire red pepper right here, right? What if I put in here, is it a spicy red pepper? Would that print out? I'm assuming it would. There's no reason why it's not. Yep, you got it. Okay, well, I'm kind of interested to see what would happen if I change this to an array, right? What if I threw that in there? So now I made an array out of let vegetable, right? Well, why is it complaining about this? What is it to express? Well, in what case would that be the... Oh, you know what? How about this? Watch. I bet I get it now. Check this out. Look. I bet somebody else got confused too. I bet you this runs if vegetable is cucumber or the watercress. Do you ever just say watercress? I don't know. I thought it was like a watercress nut or something. Yeah, me too. All right, look at that. Yep, we did it. All right, so that makes a lot of sense. And then what was our last? Well, that's an easy one if you just throw celery in there. So in this case, watercress, that's also going to make a good tea sandwich. What is a tea sandwich? I'm going to have to Google that. Google it after this. All right, so, yep, same result. So I guess, yeah, and then this is just going to run if I just put in here, anything I want at the end of it. Everything tastes good because that's going to be the default. And is a default required? No, it's not. It's a good. I suppose it's a good idea, but if you don't have a reason for it, it's not. It shouldn't complain, right? So, maybe it does complain. Let's see. Switch must be exhaustive. Consider adding a default close. Okay, so look at that. I was wrong. I kind of felt like you were wrong that whole time, and I was just over here smiling because I was like, man, he thinks he is the freaking master of the programming. And I knew, I was like, I'm gonna throw this curveball at him. I'm gonna test him and dump out that default statement. So there we go. All right, that's it. Did we actually spend 13 minutes on these two stupid examples? Yeah, I think we did. Well, you know what? I guess that about does it. I'm not sure why we're still getting the little thing over here. I added that back, so maybe we just need to. You know what? You want to see a fun little example here, Cleavon? If Xcode ever has given you some trouble, you can go over here to product, hold down the option key. Which one's the one that says option on it, right next to between the control and the command. Hold down. Oh, look at that! It changes everything. Everything's got like a little dot, and then and then go down to clean build folder. Oh, I see. All right, so then just clean it out, and then. That's a scary warning when you get these things and you go, what? Am I supposed to? It's like kind of your last chance before, it's like when you sit down at the toilet and the seat is not down. You get that last minute like, whoo, I'm about to fall. I'm failing, right? Like something didn't go right. And then that's what those prompts are to me. It's like, what? Okay. That little scare for a moment. Okay, that's an odd example. All right, so anyway, yeah, I guess we got to get going. And you said if I did this that you were going to give me a little advice on the next project I was working on. I said I would, in a sense, not mentor you, but give you let you know what I thought, if it was a good sound plan that you were doing. Right, all right, so my next deal is, check this out, seatbelt extenders. Like if you sit down on a plane and you are wide enough that the regular seatbelt doesn't fit around you, you need an extender, right? And the plane will actually give that to you. But I was thinking of ones that maybe would just show off a little of your flair. So maybe a stripe pattern or something like that, or like a cheetah one, you know. So what do you think about that? I don't think anybody wants to call attention to the fact that they've had to extend their own seatbelt. Well, you would be surprised, man. I mean, you know, people, they like their flair, you know, and certain people, they're just proud of who they are. I guess you're right. Okay, all right. Well, it's been fun, and somehow we are able to turn these micro examples into 16 minutes of us just talking on the microphone. So, all right, we'll see you next time on the CartoonSmart Podcast. I stepped on you at the end. There it is, podcast.